Yo, Ramley, what's up? What's up, Los Angeles? Welcome to the Rams LAFB show here on the LAFB network. Ryan Anderson, Ryan Dyrud here to preview this massive primetime Sunday night football clash between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and your Los Angeles Rams. Excited to be in person in my tiny-ass bedroom, Christmas tree and all. But Skinny, what's going on, brother?
It's always great to be live with you in person.
Yeah.
I wish the game was tonight so we could do it like we did with the Niners game. That was a good time for sure, going live before and after. But here we are. I mean, Bucs week at home again, coming off a huge win. Lots of injury news that we've already kind of discussed on this channel, but we'll definitely go over it all.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll do it live Sunday. Who knows? We'll see how we'll see what the wife. I mean, we'll see what the warden says. She's the boss that controls it all, at least on days off. So, yes, always good to see you. Love this shirt, by the way. It's like a Henley button-up.
Yeah, it's like a waffle button-up. Just Lucky brand. If you ever want to go check it out, they always have good sales.
Lucky brand, love it. Well, great. Well, love it. So yeah, I mean, huge game. Anytime the Rams are on Pride Time, it's always fun. Hopefully, it goes a little better than the last time, as you alluded to with that Niners Thursday night game. But the Rams have had some good success against the Bucs, even dating back to the Tom Brady era, and have been able to play pretty well against his team. Bucs are first in their division, but they are a 6-4 football team. They've had a ton of injuries to deal with. Their injury report is like the size of a scroll when you look at it. As we were talking offline, like they had somewhat of an illness kind of go through their buildings. We'll get to that. Rams, obviously, let's start with this. You did a couple videos, but healthy in terms of the injury report, only 4 players on there, but 3 starters going on IR. Just how massive is that for this team, and how do you think they overcome?
It's not just, massive starters going down. It's guys that they've kind of built the new look of their team around. So Quentin Lake talked a lot about it. Dime personnel. They've played a ton of dime personnel so far this year. That's six DBs on the field on defense. Play that about a third of the time. And a big reason of that has been because Quentin Lake is so good and so versatile. On the offensive side, they lose Rob Havenstein. Obviously, that's big just because he's been one of those stalwarts that have been protecting Matthew Stafford for years and years. But they also lose Tyler Higbee. And, of course, 13 personnel has been all the rage. When they installed that in Week 7, they started scoring 30 points a game, no problem. And before that, when they were high 11 personnel, they were sputtering on offense. I felt like the Puka Nacua show trying to force it into Davante Adams. And we actually kind of got a little bit of a preview of them going back to 11 personnel with Higbee still on the field against the Seattle Seahawks, because the Seahawks were doing such a good job defending against those 3 tight end personnel sets. So without Higbee out there, Terrence Ferguson, he's now the man. He's no longer just kind of a gadget guy, a stretch the field guy. He's going to have to be out there blocking if they want to keep running 13 personnel, which is a big question. We'll see if they roll that out there.
Yeah, and we've seen, as you mentioned, like how well this offense can operate from that. And so we've seen flashes of Ferguson and what he's able to do, and some of that talent and skill level of why they drafted him so high, why they said they would have taken him in the first round. We haven't seen the production meet that yet. So do you think this could be, and I feel like we say this every week, but could this be his coming out party? Like, I know he's had a touchdown, he's had some nice catches, but could this be his game of like, all right, we actually need you now. Like, we're leaning on you to be a productive part of this passing offense. Could we see more than, 5 catches? I don't know what Sleeper has it as. I'll look maybe. I doubt it's more than 1 catch is what they probably have it set as. I wonder if they could get 4 or 5 catches from him in this game.
It'll be interesting because it seems like the 3 other guys in the room, being Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, and Tyler Higbee, had a nice rotation going on. Where they both were, all 3 of them were in the passing game, involved in the passing game, but also involved in the blocking game. And one of kind of the knocks about Ferguson coming out of Oregon was, not a premier blocking tight end, much more of the down the field guy. And that's what we've seen from him. So, him coming off the field, he played only 15 snaps last week against the Seattle Seahawks, whereas in the previous 3 weeks, he had been playing upwards of 25, 30 snaps in those games. So that kind of shows me that maybe he isn't quite there for Higbee. So I'm going to bet that they maybe move to 12 personnel, maybe move to 11 personnel, 12 being, 2 tight end sets with 1 running back, and 11 with 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end, 1 running back, if I'm not being too pedantic about it. But, I imagine they're scrambling to figure that out. I don't think they're going to go full bore with 13 personnel. They might trot it out early in the game just to see how it goes. But if you look at the Bucs defense, neither side of this Bucs team is elite, but they got some guys in the secondary. They've got some guys, linebackers. Their linebacking core is probably one of the better ones in the league right now, I would venture to say. So, that 13 personnel is up in the air because of this Higbee injury. And I don't think you can just drop in Ferguson to just fill Higbee's role.
Yeah. When we talked last week going into the game, how it was a true, like I was saying, like everyone talks about the McVay, Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, these coaching rivalries, but in reality they're really not like that, to a little bit, but I mean they're 2 offensive coaches. They never actually coach against each other. Last week we were able to see like that true offensive mind of McVay going against that true defensive mind of McDonald, and McVay got off early, and then McDonald really settled in, and his defense really was able to shut the Rams down. Well, this is a similar week. I mean, Todd Bowles, probably the most underrated defensive coach in the NFL. Like, always orchestrates great defenses, never gets any love ever. I mean, he was the guy that shut down Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl when Tom Brady won with the Bucs, and they gave up, 6 points or something in that game? So
that's crazy. Yeah, that's a great point.
Or maybe they ended up with more points at the end, but they completely shut down Mahomes in that offense and were able to get after the quarterback. And a lot of what Todd Bowles does, and maybe you'll know even better than me, but he gets after the quarterback, similar like those Brian Flores' defense, where they're going to send different blitzes at you, send exotic looks to really try to get in Stafford's face. So, I mean, just you mentioned it a little bit, but what do you see from this Bucs defense that can maybe give the Rams some fits?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about Seattle was they are not a blitzing team. They blitz at the lowest rate in the league. They dialed it up against Stafford, which is usually a spell for just – you're just setting yourself up. You just go back to those Flores games. He blitzed a ton, and that team got picked apart by Stafford. We went in thinking that game was going to be a tight game or even a blowout in the Vikings' favor, and it did not. It was not so. But what you can see from what McDonald did is he didn't just blitz. He with man coverage, which is generally how you want to blitz, right? He kind of layered the defense a bit and was, fairly successful. Mm-hmm. Put some pressure on Stafford, forced some incompletions, a good amount of pressure and a good amount, I don't think 1 sack, 2 sacks maybe. Something. Anyway,
sounds right. Yeah.
Point being is you can't just blitz this guy, and if that's the plan, they're going to get torched. Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully they will.
Yeah, for sure. But like I was saying, the guys in the defensive backfield, Tyke Smith, Antoine Winfield Jr., Jamel Dean, Jacob Parrish is also having a good season.
Yep.
So a lot of guys that can, muddy up that back end, make it a little bit more confusing for Stafford, make it a little bit harder for him to just start, ripping balls into the hot area, where the blitzer comes from. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good chess match, and it'll be interesting to see if he does make those adjustments.
Yeah. Good. Definitely chess match, back-to-back weeks playing against defensive-minded coaches, and just really elite defensive play callers.
And I'll point out they also have 10 interceptions, just like the Rams do. So a good secondary out there. So they blitz from all over the place. They run a lot of stunts as well. They like to do all of those silly things that Flores does, but also Shula does as well. So I think the Bucs' best chance is getting to the quarterback. Stafford's numbers under pressure have been truly bad this season.
Yeah.
Not because he's getting worse as a quarterback or anything like that, but he's protecting the ball really well. He's not doing the Sam Darnold. He's not trying to force throws. He's not he's dirting the ball when it's smart. He's throwing it away when it's smart, which affects his completion percentage under pressure. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you got to make some of those throws, and I don't want to say it was a couple of throws away from being a blowout in the Rams' favor, but there were a couple throws that he missed.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. Like I mean, we said a few days ago on the recap, like it should not have been a 21-19 game. Like, you get 4 interceptions, you should win by more than 2 points. But anyway, a win's a win. It was a grungy win. We'll take it. So, but against this Bucs team, it'll be interesting. And going against that defense, I think you hit the nail on the head, and how they're able to establish the run and be consistent with that. But then also what kind of pressure rate that Todd Bowles brings, I think will dictate then how McVay, like this could be one of those games where it's a real kind of first half of like, all right, what are you going to show me? What are you going to show me? Like, tease me with what you're going to do. And in the second half, we see this offense really try to take shape, which they did a lot in the beginning of the year. Remember, this was a very second half team. And until Jacksonville, when the offense kind of exploded over a couple weeks, maybe they've reverted back a little bit to like, all right, show me a little, now that we're playing these good defenses, show me what you're going to do in this first half, and we'll try to exploit it in the second half. So,
yeah. And you brought up the run game as well. And I think that coming out of the Seattle game, the Rams run game looked really good in that game. And they were doing a really great job of keeping a shell over the Rams offense. This Bucs team is only allowing 36% success rate on the ground, which was one of the better success rates in the league so far this year. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to kind of establish Kyren Williams in the way that they did last week.
Yeah. Well, and Vita Vea, he's healthy, right? I mean,
Vita's back in there.
One of the best nose tackles in the game. It's just a mammoth of a human being. Is Greg Gaines still in Tampa?
Greg Gaines is still there.
Yeah, former Ram. So those are some big boys in the middle there with Vita Vea, Greg Gaines, and others.
Yep.
Now, looking at this Bucs, let's start with this when talking about this Bucs offense. He only played, 5 games? But I think Baker Mayfield is like a beloved Ram of this modern era just for that short time. And it really, I think he even has a soft spot for the Rams because in reality, the Rams and McVay kind of saved his career. I mean, he was obviously cast away from the Browns, then went to the Panthers, and then was picked up off the streets by the Rams, and then goes to the Bucs, and now the rest is history. He's got a big contract. So just what do you think of, Baker's time here in LA? And I mean, he's kind of like a folk hero in LA for a team that he went 2 of 3 or whatever, and was here for such a short time.
Well, people only have to remember that first win, the 30 hours off the plane.
So glorious.
Drops in there. I was at that game.
Yeah, that's right. You were.
I've never seen a fan base. They were playing the Raiders. The Raiders are winning the whole game. Baker orchestrates a comeback last second drive, scores a touchdown. I've never seen fans go from just talking and belligerence and anger, like just vitriol towards the home crowd, to just sadness. Those Raiders fans were leaving with just so much sadness.
Such a Raider thing too. Like that was such a Raiders loss.
Yeah, 100%. That's all you need to know about the Baker time. That's it's the legend, it's the tall tale that is Baker Mayfield. And he came out and he said as much that he said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They repaired my career and set me up. I mean, he was on waivers from Carolina.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a trade.
Him and Sam Darnold both there.
Yeah.
Hanging out behind Andy Dalton, I think, at the time.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Memories. 2022. But Jordan Rodriguez was on the NFL Daily podcast today or yesterday talking about how he came in and kind of revitalized that building because they brought him in because Matthew Stafford was hurt. Yeah. Bad back injury, I think is what I don't remember what the official diagnosis was, but all those offensive line injuries from the jump.
Oh, that was a rough year.
Bringing in Ty Nsekhe, Joe Noteboom. They were trying to start at left tackle there. And everybody, Kyren Williams got hurt that year in his rookie season.
Everyone. I think they had like an XFL guy come in.
I think they even sat Aaron Donald for some of that year.
I think you're right. By the end of the year, it's like you just be dumb because this is terrible. Let's just get out of this. Let's just get through this season.
And Jordan had written up about how McVay was kind of hit rock bottom in terms of being a coach that season. He was not in a good headspace.
Mm-hmm.
He'd always won. He'd always been a part of a winning team. He was a fast ascending guy, and all of a sudden you win a Super Bowl and this happens. So Baker Mayfield, she was saying he comes in and revitalized that building and got other guys' job. I mean, Lee and Cohen should be thanking Baker Mayfield, not only for what they did in L.A., but also there in Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So, it went both ways, and now they get to square off. This is not the first matchup, though.
No, I don't believe so. I feel like they've played Tampa almost every year. It seems like it. But yeah, Tampa Bayfield is now the new thing down in Tampa. Shout out Bradenton. One of my best friends from high school lives in Bradenton, Florida. Beautiful area. Beautiful beaches down there, white sandy beaches. But this offense, tons of injuries, obviously. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they've had some on the offensive line. They've had receivers go in and out. Obviously, Mike Evans is on the IR. He's done for the season. RIP to my fantasy team. I'm blank on his name. Their second wide receiver.
Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin's been banged up.
Amika Buka went out.
Amika Buka has been out, and I think he's on the injury report for that illness right now, right? But
yeah, they have a few guys on the injury report. Some sort of illness going through the building. Hopefully, it gets cleared up.
Yeah, so we'll see about that.
Bucky Irving also.
Also RIP to my fantasy team. Let's start with him. So he has finally, it was weird. It never went on IR. They never talked about it, but was just not practicing. He's limited practice as of Wednesday. So trending to maybe playing. I mean, how big is he? You don't have to talk details about him. Obviously, we don't cover him, but just how big of an impact is that they could get him back ahead of this Rams game?
I think it's actually really big. I think it's been really important or detrimental to the Bucs offense that he hasn't been out there.
Yeah,
really explosive player, and good down to down as well. And they've got a couple of good backs back there. I'm blanking on the other guy's name here.
I'm blanking on his name too.
Rashad White.
Thank you.
Sean Tucker also on there. He had a big play last week.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin. Kevin, my former boss, he's from Tampa originally.
Okay.
So he always texts me, and he sent me Sean Tucker text, and I was like, "What?" I had to look him up. Number 44.
Yeah. He had the neck roll almost on there.
Yeah.
If I would have read that, I'd be like, the movie, John Tucker Must Die. Is this what you're referring to? You misspelled John.
Yeah. So now I know who Sean Tucker is, but really, really important. I mean, last year, go check out the highlights. Explosive in the running and in the passing game, and I think that obviously every team should have a good running game. It opens a lot of stuff up, but having a guy like Bucky Irving, especially against the Rams, just in the passing game, would help this offense a ton. Help the Bucs offense a ton. Just opening things up. Giving Baker Mayfield a quick release option out of the backfield.
Such a huge outlet. Yeah.
Yeah. Lining up wide, lining up in the slot as well. He does all that stuff, and he's a good player that they just haven't had over the last several weeks. And you mentioned the offensive line injuries they've had.
Real quick.
Oh yeah.
Before you go to that, just remember I mentioned all the parallels between USC and the Rams. So fitting. Bucky's been out since week 1 or 2. Maybe week 3 or so. It was very early on in the season that he's been out since. Very fitting that he could come back in this game to play in LA against the Rams. The same weekend the USC Trojans are playing the Oregon Ducks, Bucky Irvin's former team. I'm like, what is, of all weeks for him to come back against an LA team? Anyway, I digress. Go ahead. About the offensive line.
Oh, well, and just to finish up, I'll say that the Rams have struggled against passes to running backs, screen passes and whatnot. Anything that kind of gets on the outside, it's a little bit of a mystery for that. So that's something to keep an eye on. The offensive line, I wanted to just kind of go through the troubles that they've had there. Not that you guys are terribly interested in it, but they've had 2 different left tackles, 3 different left guards, 2 different centers, and these are guys that have played hundreds of snaps, not just coming in. Mm-hmm. They've had 4 different right guards, 2 different right tackles, and one of their left tackles also played center. so they moved. Wow. They moved. What was the center? Graham Barton from center to left tackle when Tristan Wirfs was out. Tristan Wirfs is back. Tristan Wirfs is a monster.
Top 3 tackles in the game, probably, yeah.
I'm excited to watch him go up against Jared Verse. On the other side of things, Byron Young should be able to eat.
Yeah. I think in general, when you mentioned just all that, the non-continuity of this offensive line. Like when healthy, entering week 1, the Bucs probably had one of the top offensive line units on paper. I think many would argue that. But because of the injuries, even when getting guys back, like so much on the offensive line is building that continuity, that consistency, that congruence. And, they just don't really have that right now. So even with Wirfs back in the lineup, like I think this defensive line should absolutely have their way of getting after Baker. And you mentioned it. Byron Young, 3+ sack game. Let me see if he's on Sleeper. Maybe this is a good transition while you talk.
Yeah, let's check out Sleeper. Yeah, I mean, with all that moving around, it's obviously tough. But the thing I'll point out is Baker is a running quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a mobile guy. And he's just a SOB when doing it, too.
I freaking love him.
I end up watching a good amount of 49ers footage. And in the last 2 years, he has, stiff-armed one of their defensive linemen in, just an embarrassing way where it's like, oh, that's a sack. And then he's scrambling for 10.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, something that you really have to pay attention to with this Rams team are those edges with QB scrambles, outside zone stuff, screen passes, all that stuff.
Well, before we kind of wrap up with more of the Rams defense versus offense, we will go to Sleeper. Let's talk Sleeper, sponsor, #1 sports app. In the Apple Store or Google Play, make sure to go download it. When you go to make your first deposit, use our promo code. You see it on the screen there. Rams LAFB. That's all one word, Rams LAFB. You're getting a match deposit bonus up to $100. You put in $100, you get $100 free to play with. Put in 10, you get 10 free to play with. Plus, right now, they have, for first-time users, go sign up. You get a free $20, no deposit required. They're just going to give you $20 to play with, and then you can stack that offer. So use the 20, play with that, then use our promo code RAMSLAFB, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. So while you'll use that is for the daily pick and pick 2 to 8 players across any sport, any league, and just choose more or less. It's that easy, and you can win real money. So we're going to do that right now as we do every week. I have yet to win.
This is the week.
Yet to win on
put the Swami hat on.
Picks. And we just do the Rams game. Like I said, you can combine them. You can do anything. A Rams player, add a Lakers player in there, whatever. You just got to have at least 2, no more than 8. All right, they don't have and sometimes what is today? Thursday?
Yep.
So they might add some more closer to Sunday, but right now they don't have Byron Young sack numbers on here. But let's start with the hot ones here. Davante Adams, does he get in the end zone again this week? Anytime touchdown.
They're going to be throwing it to him. They're going to try it.
They always do.
I'm going to say no.
I mean, last week 9 targets, but only 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
Well, he did get that touchdown. They got that little play that they like.
They love it. I might overrule you.
Choice
I might
trap.
go yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
He loves to get in the end zone. All right. So we got Davante Adams there. Let's see. Baker Mayfield, 1.5 touchdowns, more or less, or do we want to just stay away from that one?
Is that rushing end? Is that anytime throwing?
Passing touchdowns, sorry. 1.5 passing touchdowns.
They're really bad in the red zone. I think stay away.
Okay, I'll stay away for now. Emeka Ibuka, anytime touchdown?
I like it.
More? I like the odds, too. 2.15 multiplier there with that one.
Ching.
Kyren Williams, more or less 62.5 yards.
They got a good run defense.
They do. Like we said, Vita Vea.
Yeah.
Big boy.
I don't like it.
Stay away or less?
I would stay away. I think this is a good opportunity for Blake Corum to pick up some interesting running statistics that I've been keeping my eye on. Gap run versus zone run. A couple years ago, they make this big transition, bringing big old Kevin Dotson, try to bring in Jonah Jackson at the left guard, and it was successful. But zone runs have been more successful this year than gap runs by a pretty healthy margin.
Interesting.
I don't know what to make of that yet, but
that is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think
could be just a tendency thing?
Do you think either Kyren or Corum is better at one or the other? Or I know they're such similar style runners.
I would imagine that Kyren's a bit more patient, and then coming out of Notre Dame, they run pretty much half and half just because their offensive line is always so good.
Yeah, and I'm curious, thinking at Michigan if they ran pure gap.
I would imagine so.
So it's been fun watching this. Again, the parallels between the Rams and because the Trojans run a lot of same zone and gap. I mean, they do a ton of counters with pulling guards right now. Oh man, Terrence Ferguson, anytime touchdown, 4.22 times multiplier right there. That's a big daddy.
That is tempting, because he is that kind of deep option. We've seen him catch a few touchdowns.
Well, let's hold for now.
Yeah,
Bucky Irving, if he plays, I like a touchdown from him, more or less.
Yep.
I think I'll go more on that one. It's a good, decent multiplier too. Okay, let's get out of just touchdowns. Pass yards. Tampa Bayfield, 242.
Ooh.
0.5 yards, more or less. Or Stafford, we could do both. Stafford's 246.5. I like that more than rush yards because, like you said, they do have a really good rush defense. They're going to have to throw it.
Yeah. I think I like the Stafford one. I like under on Mayfield, and I like over on Stafford. Not trying to be a homer or anything.
Let's do it. Let's do it both. We're going to stay away from rush yards. Receiving yards.
Real quick on Blake Corum. In college, his final year, 165 snaps in gap, 91 in zone.
Yeah, so a decent mix, but more gap.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yes. Is it?
Receiving yards. They don't have many options yet added here. You got Puka Nacua, 91.5.
I mean, if they go away from the heavier sets, he's the dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they pepper it to him.
And we have Stafford going over 246. It's got to, and he throws to basically one person.
Yeah. No 2-2. You know, Jordan Whittington hasn't really popped. Konate Mumfield, same thing.
Yeah, we're going Puka more for sure. Emeka Ibuka, 67.5, more or less. Want to stay away from that, or?
No, I like that one as well.
All right. We are looking good. I think we've got 7. Do we want to do the full 8?
I think let's go for it.
Okay. Who do we go wild here and go first? Oh, we can't even do that because of who we've already added. I was going to say first touchdown, but we'd have to get rid of our anytime touchdowns. Receptions. Davante 4.5, Puka 7.5, Emeka 5.5.
I don't know.
I don't love any of those. I'm okay. We're gonna flex this.
Okay.
So we have some options, but I'm gonna go back to, and I'm taking the Turd Ferguson anytime Teddy.
All right.
Turd Fergie. So just by that. So for those of you that don't use Sleeper, so with our 7 picks right now, our multiplier is 26.23 times. Adding the Turd Fergie, we go to 76.21 multiplier. Meaning,
how much can we win, Ryan?
a $5 investment can give us $381.
Oh, all right.
Plus, looks like we have some potential profit boosts, which I'm using. 25% profit boost, making our $5 investment worth $475.6.
Remember, folks, we have yet to win.
Yeah.
Our luck's got to turn around today.
However, if I flex it, meaning I can miss up to 2 and still at least get my money back, our max win is 192.
Okay.
If I go with the flex, or do we go all out with give me 475 and have all 8 hit? Now I'm leaning towards have all 8 hit, baby.
This is where you and I differ. I would hedge.
You're going safe? See, this is what I'm going to do. For the sake of the show. We're going all in, and then I'll do a secondary, more or less, daily fantasy where
we should post these.
I'll hedge that just to win that. I mean, I'm only putting $5 in, so as long as I make an easy one where I can win a minimum of 10, then I win it all back. All right, submitted.
Locked it in, baby.
Boom. All right, there you go. Sleeper, Rams LAFB is the promo code. Check it out. I love doing that segment because it actually is still like analyzing kind of what we think. So is there anything else you want to add about, we were talking, our Rams defense going against that offense. Anything else to add on that? I guess the secondary, we talked about, we think this pass rush should be able to get after Baker Mayfield. Secondary, losing Quentin Lake is massive. You've done 2 or 3 videos on that. Check that out here on the Rams LAFB YouTube channel. So I guess we'll kind of end with that. How do you see the secondary matching up against Ibuka? If
Chris Godwin.
Thank you. Godwin is able to go. I don't know why I remember his number, 14, but I can't remember his name.
Sterling Shepard,
Sterling
Tez Johnson, Caden Naughton.
And Tez Johnson's actually had a nice little career.
Yeah.
Kind of a roller coaster, but a nice little year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you see the secondary matching up, and who do you think kind of fills in that slot?
I mean, based on this on the Seahawks game, Josh Wallace, they just popped him in there. Roger McCreary, anyone?
No.
Anyone? They traded for him.
No.
Sort of. They sort of traded for him.
He made an effort. He made a phone call.
Weird pick swap anyway. So they got him on the team. Yeah, I mean, so Emmanuel Forbes did a really good job last week against JSN.
Yeah.
I think throw him out there again with Emeka Buka. Chris Godwin also coming off an injury. I don't think he's going to be fully integrated. They probably tried him out there a little bit cautiously, see how he handles it.
And he typically does play in the slot,
yeah.
Godwin. So that would be who to kind of key in on how much he's there or not.
Yeah. So, so many guys have really stepped up, and it really has started up front. Actually, Baker Mayfield pointed this out. The pass rush is affecting the quarterback, and that's making the secondary play with a lot more confidence. And they know what they need to do. When you don't have, top line speed guys, they just have to know what they do, and they play faster because there's no questions. So I think, they never match up well against, star receivers, but they always seem to get the job done. So does that continue? I mean, my one big question coming out of the Seattle game is how long can Emmanuel Forbes just missile launch himself into players to tackle them and take them down? That notwithstanding, I think they'll hang with him, and I think Ibuka and Kate Otten are kind of the guys to key in on. I always worry about tight ends, and no tight end has really blown them up. So maybe I should get off of this hobby horse. But I just keep going back to it. I think it can be a place that's exploited.
It was too many years of watching Michael Hoyt cover tight ends that
I guess
we have flashbacks of that.
Yeah, Michael Hoyt and Troy Reader and Christian Roseboom.
Yeah, all of him trying to cover tight ends. Never worked out well.
Yeah. And then going back to the Bucky Irving point, him in the passing game, that's kind of a math flipper there, just because he is fast and explosive and can add some serious yak to catches. So
yeah,
the Rams are a big favorite in this game. I understand why. The only thing I'll say is that the Bucs have a number of players that can change and just wreck the game in a way. The pass rushers we haven't really even touched on. Hassan Reddick, Yaya Diaby's having a heck of a year. They send a lot of corner blitzes as well. Baker Mayfield is just a wild card.
Yep.
So I think, on paper.
Well, you got. Give me your score prediction.
Oh, there we go. We're already here. Yeah. I guess I was leading. I was leading there.
Rams at home, big favorite. Do you have the line? Do you know the line?
It was
off the top of your head.
Rams are -6.5 last I saw. I'll double check. You give your kind of last final thoughts. And
home game, SoFi Stadium, Sunday night, primetime game. Should be an absolute fun matchup. Absolutely welcoming Baker back to where it all started for him in LA. Not where it all started, but where the rebirth started, the baptism, if you will.
Yeah, still plus or
-6.5.
-6.5. Yeah.
So Rams 6.5-point favorite. I do like the Rams as one. Like we talked, I think Tampa Bay has some explosives to them. They certainly have talent. If not everyone, but if who is on the injury report is able to play, Ibuka, Bucky Irving, that certainly will be a huge boost for them on offense. But the Rams should win this game. I mean, if they are the best team in football, which I think we think they are, they're at least top 3. Buccaneers obviously first in their division, but the Rams are still a better team and at home. So pass heavy game, I think, which is right in Sean McVay's wheelhouse. He'll love that.
Over under 49.5.
Over under 49.5. I'm going to take the kind of over on that. I'm going to go Rams 31, Tampa 24.
So they cover. They win and cover.
Yeah. One touchdown, win by 7. cover by 3 or whatever.
I'm not going to pick them over 30 ever again. So I'm going to go 29-21.
29-21. Cover as well.
Yeah.
But just under the over. 49.5, you said?
Yep.
So 20. Oh, no, 50. Yeah, there we go.
Right over.
Man, I'm bad at math. That's just so. All right, well, there you have it. Both taking the Rams. Let us know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments below. Give us your score predictions. Who you're most worried about the Rams facing in this team being, that is. Are you super confident, not confident? Just let us know your thoughts overall on the season so far with your first place Los Angeles Rams. Thank you, Ramley, as always, for hanging out with us. That's Ryan Anderson. I'm Ryan Dyer. This is the Rams LAFB Show. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. We'll talk to you all post-game, hopefully after a win.